Hunter Biden was recently convicted of gun charges. It's like 3 charges related to him illegally owning a firearm. But see, Hunter Biden been breaking a whole lot of laws, wasn't just the gun law. Hunter Biden been smoking dope. Hunter Biden been cheating on his taxes. Hunter Biden been taking bribes, and kickbacks, and money laundering. Hunter Biden and his father have been engaging in criminal activity for decades. Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and several members of the Biden family have been engaging in criminal activity for decades. And the Democratic Party been covering it up. And the reason why the Democrat Party is covering up all those crimes committed by Hunter Biden and by Joe Biden for decades is simple. It's a power struggle. We only have 2 major political parties here in the United States. That's Republican and Democrat. So those are the 2 main governing political parties in this country. So rather than the Democrats coming up short with a representative in the Senate, a representative in Congress, a representative in the White House, they would much rather lie to the American people and cover up criminal activity, federal crimes, and possibly treason committed by Joe Biden. I'm pretty sure it's treason that has been committed by Joe Biden with illegal dealings in Ukraine, with his son working for a Ukrainian oil company, and with Joe Biden stopping investigations of that same oil company that his son was working for, where Joe Biden continued to give Ukraine billions and billions of dollars. For what? Now, I'm not saying don't help Ukraine, but Joe Biden is doing way more extra than what everybody else in Europe is doing and what everybody else in America wants him to do. And that's because of his prior illegal activity with him and his son and Ukraine. So this is not about, in my opinion, this is not really at war and all our foreign aid and all the help that we give in Ukraine. Mind you, I'm not against aid to Ukraine, but I'm telling you, the reason why they doing as much as they doing, and the reason why Joe Biden is doing as much as he doing, going way over there and taking way better than Ukraine border than he is the United States border, is because Hunter Biden and Joe Biden was engaging in illegal activity, bribes, money laundering, kickbacks, tax evasion with the Ukrainian government. But this stuff been going on for decades. The stuff that Joe Biden's been doing been going on for decades, ever since Hunter was young. He been getting caught with dope. And his daddy, being a representative in Congress, would just make the cases disappear, would just make the charges disappear. And so all of these years, Hunter Biden been getting away with murder because of his powerful daddy sweeping everything under the rug. So yeah, the Hunter Biden laptop was real. These crimes that Hunter Biden been committing is real. And Joe Biden lied to y'all and told y'all that him and his son wasn't getting no money from no foreign countries, but they was. Hunter Biden been engaged in all type of illegal activity, and his father knew it, but he lied to y'all. And he had his friends in government cover it up. And they knew about that laptop. In the last election, the FBI had it in their possession, knew it was real. But Joe Biden got a bunch of his friends in Washington, D.C., Anthony Blinken and some other so-called intelligence officials. Notice I said so-called, because they lied. Bunch of people who used to work in government wrote a letter. And they said, oh, this computer is fake and it's Russian disinformation. And they lied and they tried to blame Hunter Biden's laptop on the Russians when it was real. And they knew it was real. And they did that so they could get Joe Biden elected as president of the United States, even though they knew full well that he was a liar, that he was obstructing justice, that he was involved in tax evasion, and the conspiracy to set up President Donald Trump. Joe Biden is the one that's been committing all these crimes for all these decades. He turned around and he set up Donald Trump with help from 51 former intelligence officials. Yeah, that's why the setups look so good on Donald Trump. And that's why they was able to get a conviction in New York on Donald Trump, because Donald Trump have some very rich and very powerful enemies, including a bunch of spies that are friends with Joe Biden. The reason why y'all don't know about this is because the fake news won't tell you. Mainstream media will not tell you. And that's because the mainstream media is ran and controlled by Democrats. But yeah, they found cocaine in the White House. Yeah, they found weed in the White House since Joe Biden been president. And that weed, that cocaine, they claim they didn't know where it come from or who it belonged to. It belonged to Hunter Biden. And as far as I know, Joe probably was getting high too, because he sure been in a rush and been in a hurry to cover up everything his son been doing for decades and lying about everything his son been doing for decades. He say, oh, I love my son and I've been doing this to help my son. You've been doing that to help you. To stay in Congress and to make your way to the White House. And now you're president and you're still lying and obstructing justice and committing federal crimes, Mr. Stealing classified documents and money laundering and taking bribes and kickbacks and obstruction justice. I'm sorry. First, the Democrats was acting like they didn't know if this stuff was true. First, the mainstream media was acting like they didn't know that this stuff was out there. Then they tried to act like it was Russian disinformation when they found out about it, knew it was true. And now they saying, well, you know, Joe Biden did a good job as president, so we gonna look past all the lying and the stealing and the corruption and the treason and the obstruction of justice. And Joe Biden ain't been doing no good job as no president. Joe Biden has been one of the most raggediest jobs as any U.S. president since the inception of this country. The Democrats can't give up their power. So they'd rather keep this lying, this treasonous, corrupt Joe Biden in the White House instead of giving the keys back to Donald Trump, who had one of the most successful presidencies in United States history. They'd rather sit there and let Joe Biden set up Donald Trump just so the Democrats can stay in power.